This was inevitable ever since the conception of the series. Of course, all series come to an end, and this one will come to a hopefully middling to decent end. Middling decent. Is middling worse than decent? Or are they just synonymous? Whatever. So I've had this device for 4 years and change. I got it a couple weeks after it was released in 2012. I got it, I believe, November 2nd of that year. I will leave the embarrassing unboxing video in the description. I remember that video was not good. I haven't watched it in, I think, like a year at least, but I know it wasn't that good. Anyway, you can look at it in the description. I will probably take a look at it after I upload this video. Anyway, that's not the point, actually, believe it or not. The point of this video is to describe this thing's function. Because I have it around and it's slow, and I have a phone that's far faster than it, so why do I need it? Well, firstly, it runs iOS, and it's the only iOS device that I own, because the iPhone 6 that I did own, I gave up to my mom, who then passed it on to my dad, so it's not mine anymore. It'd be nice to still have around because it's still a fully functional iOS device, but my generosity is so overwhelming that sometimes it overtakes my impulses. Or maybe my impulse was to just give it to my parents because I'm just that much of a good person. This is enough psychoanalysis. This isn't the point of the video. I'm just going to tell you what I use my iPod for and then look at it. That's basically the point, and this is going to be the last video in which I do such a thing. So, it's slow. It's not that fast, which is another way of saying it is pretty slow. But the thing is, it's not tediously slow. Now, this was partially due to my optimizations, a la Cydia tweaks and, Cydia tweaks primarily. I am on, let's go, good times, general about, oh man, lovely, brings me right back to 2013, 9.0.2, so I'm not on 9.3.5, which is the final firmware iteration that the iPod Touch 5th generation supports. I don't think 9.3.5 is jailbreakable, so I'm stuck on this firmware until this device gives out, which I don't mind. I mean, it's stable and, it's jailbreakable, so I don't have any issues with it, really. So the overarching reason that I keep this device is because there really isn't any other alternative. I could try pawning it off for $50, $60, $70, but it's worth more than that, I think, because I still use it for a couple of things, which will lead me to reasons number 2 and 3. Reason number 2, I have music on it. Now, this is a 32 gigabyte iPod, and it only holds about 800 to 900 songs in ALAC format, or Apple Lossless. But it's not a big deal because of its compatibility with... Is my voice giving out already? Oh my god. It's not a big deal. Oh my god, my voice. What the hell? I haven't made a video in like 3 weeks at least. How is this happening? And I haven't been screaming as of late, so anyway. Thanks to the device's compatibility with iTunes, which I know is an odd thing to say considering that iTunes is the Achilles heel of Apple's software arsenal, I think. It still works. I can easily swap out albums that I'm not listening to and replace them with albums that I am listening to. So let's go into my music app. There we go. Oh my god. Oh, my voice. Maybe it's a sign telling me that this video is pointless. It's not though. Okay, so I have it filled with about maybe 50 albums, 60 or something. 35 songs, that means 35 artists. That must be a bug. A Cydia tweak or something. I doubt it's an iOS thing. Anyway. Oh my god. Alright, is that better? Yeah, okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. Alright. I think that throat clear granted me about 10 extra minutes before my voice completely gives out. So I have like maybe 50, 60 albums that I listen to pretty frequently, like 50, 60 of my favorite albums of now. And you're probably thinking, and I apologize if I'm presuming that you're thinking at all while watching this, you have the Nexus 6P or you have a phone. Why don't you just stream music off your phone? And I do stream music off my phone. I mean, the majority of the time when I'm listening to music on the go, I'm listening to it through my phone. But it's nice to have an alternative. And I mean, I have lossless music on this. I don't have lossless music on my Nexus 6P. I'm just streaming 320 kilobit per second audio. If I'm lucky, if I'm in a bad area data-wise, that bitrate goes down to 192, maybe 160. So it's not as reliable as having the locally stored music files on the device. So it's nice to have this as a little backup. So that's what I use the device for mainly, just as a little portable FLAC playing, well, ALAC playing. ALAC, is that what it's called? Yeah, sure. ALAC playing, AFLAC. Yeah, I'll go off myself now. Lossless playing, there we go. Music player. So that's why I have it primarily. I do have it for a couple of other reasons. The other reason is it's still an iOS device. It's a slow one, but I can still muck around with a few Cydia tweaks every now and then if I have the hankering to look at some Cydia tweaks and download them and see what they do. Because the curiosity sometimes gets to me. I kind of like to have an iPhone 7 just so I could test out the latest Cydia tweaks. I don't know, is 10.2 even jailbreakable? I don't know. I doubt it. But let's say, okay, let's give the jailbreak community the benefit of the doubt, because I don't know. I don't really keep up with jailbreaks anymore because I really don't have a device that would warrant me, keeping up to date with it. But I can get it. It's like a trial run device. Like, it allows me to test out some Cydia tweaks. It's not the best experience, but it's an experience. So that's better than no experience, I guess. Now, I'm planning on keeping my 6P for another year at least. I mean, it's not the best thing, but it's, it works, and it runs stock Android. And as far as I see it now, I can only use a phone that either runs stock Android, is able to be rooted in, have stock Android installed on it, which is, I think, the OnePlus 3T and maybe the Moto X and, those types of phones, or have a device that runs iOS or an iPhone. So it would probably be like the iPhone 8s versus the Pixel 3 or whatever. Pixel X3 or whatever they'll call it. If they call the Pixel, the next Pixel, the X2, you heard it here first, all right? All right, there we go. X, like Nexus, they'll probably carry that over for as a little, like, nostalgia trip for, X Nexus fanboys. Yeah, that's my little conjecture. We'll see. Remind me. And the third reason I still use it, Reddit. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice text browser, the iPod Touch. I mean, it doesn't require that much CPU power. Alien Blue is a nice Reddit client. You have pretty decent ones on iOS. I mean, it's almost like it's made for it. You don't need the computing power to browse Reddit. So the browsing experience is good. And it's not large, so it's like a little pocket Reddit machine. So that's the third reason. Yeah, I mean, those are the three things I use it for. Let's look at the applications that I might use from time to time on this thing. So firstly, we have FaceTime, Calendar, Camera, YouTube. I've said that sentence maybe 10 times or so. I think that first row has been the same throughout all my iDevices for the past 5 years. 6 years now. Wow. I'm getting extremely sentimental. Next, Maps, Weather, Photos, Google Keep. I don't think that's the same. Yeah, that's not the same lineup. It's pretty similar, though, I think. Next, we have Remote. Oh, Weather. The thing about Weather, iOS 10 has the oddest update. Like, it baffles me as to why this is like a new thing. This is still an iOS 9, right? Let's go into the Weather app. This is a point I wanted to make for, I think, years now. So, For some reason now, or for some reason previously, like this is evidenced on iOS 9, for like weather readings, let's say the temperature is 71 right now, and chances are it is, the weather app will take it upon itself to round it down to 70 or up to 72. You will never see the temperature reading be 71 degrees, at least on iOS 9 and below. Now, iOS 10, if it were 71 degrees, which I do think it is right now, the reason I can say it with almost absolute certainty is that we don't have much temperature variation here in South Florida, so I can probably predict what the exact temperature is at any given time. It's sad, but it's true. I'm saying it's sad now, but you people up north probably freezing your asses off and laughing at A, the absurdity of such a claim, and B, the fact that I'd even take it upon myself to predict weather temperature when I could just look at the freaking application. Or not this application, of course, because it's borderline useless. But now on iOS 10's weather app, 71 degrees would read as 71 degrees. I don't know why they did the temperature rounding. I don't know why. Why did they need to implement such a heuristic? Like, what's the point of it? Why not just show the temperature? And why do you have to round it down? It's like user friendliness to the extreme, but it's not even user friendliness. What's the point of that? Just show the goddamn temperature. Why? Why round it down? Why round it up? It's stupid. Nonetheless, it was still the best looking weather app. So it was a shame that it wouldn't show temperatures, correctly. So like here, it's not going to be 88 on Wednesday. I mean, it's forecasted to be 87 on the Weather Channel's website, right? Which is much hotter than it should be. Screw that. But, this is data provided from the Weather Channel. So why? Why is it rounded up to 88 when it's 87? At least they fixed it, but why the hell did they need to fix that? What? It has to be one of the stupidest things ever. Somebody give me a legitimate reason as to why that was a thing. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Both 0 degrees Celsius. Oh, jeez. Help me. All right. Next. Okay, so we read that. Then we have remote, which is useful because sometimes I am doing chores around the house and I have my iTunes library playing through my DAC and then to my speakers. I want to say speaker system, but that's a bit too pretentious. And because of the remote app, I'm able to change songs through my iPod. So I'll be across upstairs, right? Be across from my room, like quite a bit away from my room, and I'll be able to change the track. So it's nice. Or set up a playlist on an impromptu playlist. It's nice. It's intuitive. It's probably the fourth reason why I still keep this around, because there's no such app on Android. All right. Then we have Spotify, which is nice if, Spotify is decent and it's free, so whatever. And then we have App Store, Clock, Settings, Podcasts. I don't use this to listen to podcasts anymore. I just use Google Play Music on my Nexus XP. Then we have Instagram. Fifth reason why I still use this. Okay, now I'm just... where were these reasons 10 minutes ago? I use this to upload pictures to Instagram because of the color accurate display, because my Nexus XP oversaturates everything to hell, and I wouldn't have it any other way, but, I have this, so I use it. I use the color accurate display to accurately display images that I'm editing. So, I know what the photo looks like to most people. Then we have extras, just a bunch of crap. Then we have Twitter. I use it occasionally on this iPod, but it's, too slow and laggy to really use that often, unless I'm in a pinch. I've used that twice in this video, ew. Then we have Cydia, Cydia jailbreak marketplace. Then Snapchat, then the Weather Channel. Second page, jailbreak folder. These are the apps I have. You probably know those. Then we have AccuWeather, Edmodo, Facetune, Google Photos, iDiskMe, which is an application that is a complement to the Ooh La La thing, the lightning reader. I'll leave a link in the description. It's basically like an SD card that you can plug into your iPod and transfer things through. Why did I get frustrated? I'm sorry. It's late and I'm kind of cranky. Then we have Messenger, Facebook Messenger. Then we have Play Music, Speed Test, Street View, Tiny Wings, and Yelp. Tiny Wings is the one game that I play on my iPod from time to time because it's my favorite iOS game. So I only had enough space to put one game on my iPod, so I chose my favorite one. So there we go. I mean, I've had this for a little bit over 4 years, and I'll keep using it until it gives out because it's a nice little portable music machine, and it's a nice little Reddit machine, and it's a nice little Instagram machine. And that's basically the story. If you want to take a look at some of the city tweaks I have, I've covered every single one of these in another video. I'll leave a link in the description where you can check it out because I haven't really changed anything. I haven't really installed anything since. And if anything, I installed something to play around with it, realized how slow it was on my iPod, and just uninstalled it because I found it, useless otherwise. So I'll leave links to other What's on My iPod Touch videos as a little sort of retrospective, like, oh, look at all these videos through the years. Oh my God. You could shed a tear or two, nobody's watching. And yeah, I think that's where we'll end this because I don't want this to be extremely long. So it'll only be about maybe 17, 18 minutes. I don't know. I'm just estimating. I've become pretty good at estimating, right? So yeah, you'll probably never see this in a video again. And if you do, well, then it was probably important enough to break that. So, all right. Thank you for watching. You've just been even Cyanide. It's been nice. I'm still gonna see this. It's not like I'm breaking up with it now. Oh, this video took a turn from sad to just pitiful. All right, let's do the back thing without breaking it. Slates. How was that for a finale? Was it okay? Could have been better, but there isn't really much to talk about. It's almost as if I shouldn't have made this a video, but I'm probably gonna put it up because I thought it was pretty good actually. It's just this, you can only make a mountain out of a molehill, right? That was only a slightly wrong utilization of that idiom. I think it was right enough so that none of you would have called me out on it, but still wrong enough to not justify that I just said it. So, all right, toodaloo, motherfuckers.